how is everybody? I hope you're doing great. Still sick, whatever, that's what it is. Got my third day in, but we got meds in us early this time, so hopefully it's over sooner than later. And I really appreciate all the kind words from people, really do, but I'm just not happy with this saw. It ain't where I want it to be. Watching the videos, it looks pretty strong, pulls pretty good comparing it to other saws out there. It ain't nowhere near race saw territory, I don't think. It looks like a really strong work saw. If I had a 12-inch piece of poplar or something out here, I might be able to tell more about it, but it was tearing right through the little piece of hickory. I ain't measured it. It's probably between 10 and 12 inches or something. It ain't nothing big, but it is hard as a rock. But that big piece of pine, you can see it's pretty big. Bars buried, and it still don't. I'm having to come in through the top and back cut it and then cut down to get it to cut cookies off of it. But it's right around 2 feet, I think, when we measured it. But pretty good test for a saw. The center of it's hollow, but whatever, the rest of the wood's sound, I promise you. It pulls pretty good. Got some good comments on it. But it just ain't where I want it to be, if that makes any sense. It don't act like a 92cc saw with 200 psi, if that makes any sense. It does seem like it's a little peppier than it was before, maybe, but I don't know. I did notice some things about it. I'm thinking the culprit, I'm thinking I could have a leaky decomp. The top of the saw, once I got done cutting, was like red hot, like hot to the touch. And once the saw got hot after making 4 or 5 cuts, I did show it on camera, I think, but the carburetors on these are kind of funny anyway. Like if you add fuel to the high jet, for some reason on the ones I've had, it kind of takes away from the low jet. But once I got the high jet dialed in, I had to go back. And in the short video, I don't know if I showed that, one of you guys I was half asleep this morning when I read the comment, but the saw looked strong, but the carburetor sounded off. This thing has one of those triggers. It don't do it all the time, but it's really sticky. But after that cut in that video, I did have to move the low jet out about a 1/16 of a turn, but it was where I fattened up the high jet. I don't know that all of them do it, but most of the ones I've had here that way. I think it's just something with that series of carburetor. So we all know that, everything's fed off of one jet anyway, technically, but don't really want to get into a discussion on carburetors. But you was right, it did need fattened up on the low jet a little bit. It wasn't much, but like I said, probably not even just a smidge of a turn, and it cleared up. But once it got hot after 4 or 5 cuts, it did seem a little lean on bottom end too, so kind of had a funky sound to it. But I'm thinking the muffler could still have it choked up. I'll pull it off a little bit, but I've got like the existing hole in the back of it, the one port that comes in these. I just kind of went in and opened that up. And then it's got a piece of 3/4 inch pipe, just tack welded into the front of it, but somehow or another it looks like it's about smashed, and it's more of an oval than it is a round pipe. So I don't know, we may do something there. I'm tempted to cut that out and go on up the inch pipe in it. I think it may benefit from it, but what I'd like to do first is pull the top cover off and diagnose the compression on the saw. But I'm guessing the first thing we really need to do is get the bar and chain off of it and out of the way. And guys, that is a stock. I tried to shoot all this in one video yesterday, but was just having technical difficulties. I just my head wasn't right. Had some okay content, but when I got out and went to videoing the cuts with the GoPro, I usually just use quick capture to do that. I don't know what I done, but I think I videoed all of about 2 seconds and the camera shut off. So I don't know. Don't know what the culprit was. I was kind of pissed when I got in and loaded everything up into the movie editor and said to hell with it. I just trash canned every bit of it. It's mainly me just getting this bar and chain on it and running my mouth and then going out back and making some cuts. But I'd like to diagnose it. Like I said, it ain't, I don't think it's where it should be. I don't know, I may just be expecting too much. The 880, I'm not really trying to compare it to that, but once you've ran one of those, I've not ran a stock one. I don't know, evidently they're pretty damn slow. I've heard some guys say the Hulls Formo ones in stock form are just horrible. I don't know. You know, we spent some time on mine and got everything dialed where I wanted it. It had not really a low exhaust reef, but I'm wanting to say it was left around 102 or 103. I don't really remember the numbers on it, but I've got a really conservative tune in that thing, right around 13,000 RPMs. And anything I've set it in, it don't really seem to lose a lot of RPM. If any, some wood you put it in, it'll about damn near 4-stroke in the cut. But again, it's apples to oranges, 92 cc's as opposed to 122 cc's. Those things are just damn animals. Anybody that has one that's any little bit modded at all knows it too. But this saw here, I do believe it should run a little better than it does. I say nothing, you guys seen the work I showed, nothing's really over ported in it. It's not really hogged out anywhere. It could be the problem. You know, in this case, for what I'm wanting, it may have wanted a little more transfer volume. I don't know. I doubt it. There's some pretty damn zippy saws out there that don't even have the damn transfers touched on them. It's just, you know, it is what it is. If any of you, I know some of you guys have been doing this shit long enough, you can just watch one and hear it and see it run and say, hey, it needs more here or there. Throw it in the comments. I'm open to anything. But hopefully we find something here, and if there's something you think I should try, throw it in the comments. It don't matter who you are. If it makes sense, hell, we'll give it a damn try. It is an experimental saw. If, you know, I do something that fucks it up, we'll come payday, we'll order another Farmertec cylinder and put on it, or if I can find something cheaper than a Farmertec. For what I do with these saws, I don't get too awful picky with the cylinders. My 038, that saw was probably one of my stronger 70cc saws, or 72, whatever it is. Got it as a $26 cylinder on it. It's sitting at 180 psi and saw flat out freaking rips. Just for what it is, it's a badass saw. There should be video of it on the channel. You want to find the more recent videos though, because that thing came with the, well, it's one of my most viewed videos is when I put that saw together and done the initial port job. And I think the video has such high views just because of kind of the comedy side to it, where I'm showing how screwed up that cylinder was out of the box and what all I had to do with it to even get it to work. Just one of them things, you know. But I think the problem might lie in this decomp. I'm not sure, but I don't know. We'll see. I just think Like I said, I could be expecting too much, I don't know, but I also don't remember if this thing's had the timing touched on it at all. Like I said in that other video, we kind of rushed through it when we done it. I know someone probably gonna say that I should have after doing the machine work, I probably should have set it back to 98 if I wanted it to, if I wanted more out of it. That may be true, may not be, but exhaust roof of 100, if everything's good and right, the saw should be capable of 4-stroking over 14 grand. I ain't had a tach on it, I don't know. What I'm going to do right here, if the damn starter housing will handle it, and this thing did, I verified it did make around 185 psi before I tore it down. I did take more material off of the base. I have no idea what I took off of it originally on the other saw, but I did take around 20 thousandths off of it on my lathe. The band has probably had well over 40 took out of it altogether, maybe closer to 50. I don't write none of this stuff down. I've got a book over there where I've wrote some builds in it, but if I was doing it on more of a professional level and taking in, you know, multiple saws a week to do, we'd probably document more things like that. But I've done so many, I've kind of got my own style on work saws, but dabbling more into the whole race saw kind of part of it, it's a little different. It's kind of a fine line between the two, I guess, but I don't know. We're on 0. Let's see what kind of compression we get. Hopefully the starter rope and the housing will hold up. I don't know how well this will pick that up, but I did put rings in this. It just now at like 185. We'll see if we'll get it coming up anymore. I'm not getting a good full pull on it, probably just where I'm sick, and I'll give it a few more pulls. And this hose is really long to be checking compression on a small engine. Well, it took it on up to about 190. I'd say once the ring's seated, it'd be right at 200 psi. This gauge does read about not quite 10 psi low. Well, if I felt like it, I could probably pull it a few more times. You can probably tell by the way it sounds through the camera, I'm not getting a full rotation. It just, I'm sick as a dog and feel weak. So my calculations were about right. I wish I would have just put the other rings back in it, because I don't know that they were completely seated yet, but I don't know, but I'm assuming once it gets a tank or two through it and the ring's seated, it'll be right around 200 psi. I bought another gauge, but I checked the compression on something here with a damn pop-up in it, and it smashed the Schrader valve. I need to get one and put back in it. It don't really read very well anymore after that. They just robbed one out of an old wheelbarrow tire or something, but that's close enough to where I thought it should be. What do I say, 190 is where it's settled in there. That gauge does read a little low, so it's probably realistically 195 if the other gauge was working right. So I don't think my problem's there. The top cover on it was really hot. I attempted to put the plug back in it here and fire it up and just maybe see if that decomp was leaking, but hell, I run this thing probably for 8 minutes straight and was just one cut after another. I think there's a good 4 or 5 minutes of it just running straight wide open on camera yesterday. You know, and then dialing it in before I took it out there, and you know, I just don't know. And we get a plug back in this thing, get it fired up, and maybe see if there might be something up with this decomp or something. It's not looking like it, but you never know. We'll just have to see. Guys, I don't think that's the culprit. And if you remember in that other video when I said if I drill the decomp out, it's probably still going to pop out, it does. If I could probably pull it out and maybe punch another hole in it, but I don't know, it's not that bad to crank anyway. So, where are we at here? I'm probably going to yank the front cover off of the muffler. Let's see, I've got, you guys should be able to see that mess, and I know my muffler mobs are ugly. That ain't too bad, there's a little splatter here and there, but you can kind of see that pipe. I don't know what happened. I have had this out, you know, and cut wood with it. I actually took this thing over to the property when we had all those small trees down with a damn 16 on it, 8 pin, and it just like buzzed through all that hickory, just just like hot butter and locust. It's really fun to run like that, but that was before we pulled it back down. I really wish I'd have stuck those other rings back in it, so now I gotta wait on those to damn seat and break in. I didn't run a home through the cylinder. It is what it is. No big deal. Farmertec rings usually break in really quick. So I'm guessing the compression will be right where I wanted it to be, right at 200 psi. I'd probably rather seen it up around 220. They can pick up 10-15 psi from a break-in. 15 psi would probably be on the high end of things. And anyone I talked to said the saw looked damn strong on camera anyway, but just want a little more out of it. You know, like I said, I thought it was under mufflered. We got it cut out in here. It's about damn dead even with the edges of the ports. There might be just a little bit of overhang on that gasket there, but I could probably loosen the damn screws up and get it to move over. But really, as big as that port is, I don't think it's hurting anything. When I say a little bit, I mean you can barely feel it with your finger. It is best to get that open and actually bigger than the port, but like I said, it's about dead damn even with it there, so I don't think that's hurting us at all. But what I've done, well, I can stick any of my fingers, even my thumb, through that hole. It's probably not quite 3/4 of an inch, but probably well over half an inch. It's, you know, it's probably about the size of that opening, but I'm just not really caring for that. Said I think I might try to cut that out and see if I can locate a piece of 1-inch pipe and punch it on out to that and put it in it, and then we may pull the starter cover off and see where the ignition timing's at on it. But once I get this done, I'll bring you guys back. Well, guys, what I come up with, it was easier. Got that buckshot exhaust. Oh, Dugan. I used to really like watching his videos. That's one of them deals I kind of hate that he retired, but I just thought it would be easier. I just kind of put the muffler back on with 2 bolts and took my step bit and punched out a another 3/4 inch hole. I had a piece of pipe just laying here. It was real easy to cut one down. But what I did do is, I don't know, I don't have the socket laying here, but I'll take like a tapered socket. I don't have one here to show, one that's say 1/2 inch drive, and then it goes down to maybe like a fit of 3/8 nut. And I'll heat that pipe and then put it in a vise, or you can do it with a hammer and drive it in and expand that pipe out to where it's actually bigger on the inside. So we got closer to probably a 7/8 inch opening on that pipe and a 3/4 inch exit. Got it booger welded in, laid some paint back on it. It probably looks better than it did before, but and that muffler does have that little bitty slit that Farmertec cuts in the side. So we got a triple port, I guess, now. But what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and yank the cover back off. Sorry about that, guys. I had to pause you. This little bushing that goes in that handle had fell out, and I had to dig it out and find it. I keep a magnet laying here on one of these big magnets you buy from Harbor Freight that's on wheels. I broke the wheels off mine long ago, but I keep it here for if I drop something under the workbench, I can just grab that and easily get it back out. Pretty handy, keeps me from having to get down on the floor and dig around. But we may as well see where the ignition timing's at. It's been so long, I don't know if I've advanced it or what. It's highly unlikely that I didn't, but then again, who knows? And we're more than likely going to have to have a socket to fit that, because what I've got here on the gun is just not going to do it. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like a 14mm, maybe even bigger than that. So we're going to put you guys on break again and go locate a socket. Got that. Hopefully this thing just picks right off. I really need to buy one of those flywheel pullers. I'm going to end up destroying a crank one of these days. It's going to happen. Hopefully it ain't on this one, but I think we're loose. That's loose enough to let me know if it's... Oh yeah, we definitely gave this one timing, so we pop the decomp up and get it back against compression and just cinch it back down, leave it alone. Like we took it quite a bit really. It was worth checking. That's something I normally do. Alright guys, we got that lined out. I'm kind of really hoping that I hadn't advanced it already, but whatever it is, what it is. I'm gonna pause you guys. We'll get the starter cover back on it and bring you guys back when we get it fired up. Alright guys, we're gonna fire it up. See where we're at. I've got my tach wired into it. I've got one of the little bitty wireless tachs, but the damn numbers on that thing are so small. I just kind of have a hard time reading it, to be honest with you. I've said it on the channel a lot. I ain't got the best eyesight in the world, never will have, but another story for another day. This one here works pretty good. I've had it for a while. It's pretty damn accurate. Wow, it's got a lot louder pop to it. So hopefully we've done something to help it. I'm usually quick about throwing that thing up. I was seeing a touch over 15. You know, that goes to show that you don't have to raise an exhaust roof way into the 90s to get a saw to rev up and scream high, and that you don't need 30 or 40 degrees of blowdown. I ain't gonna argue porting technique with anyone. This one has 22 degrees of blowdown, 100 on the exhaust, 80 on the intake, and I see it over 15 grand on that tach. You know, it is what it is. You know, if I didn't hold it long enough in front of the camera, but surely you can hear how loud it's screaming sitting there. There's no way I can set that up to where I can watch what it's turning in the cut, but I guess the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bar it up, same bar and chain. We'll go out and make a cut in our big log, and then I'll make 3 swipes on that piece of hickory again. I do have good GoPro footage of me cutting in that hickory yesterday. So maybe we'd do like a before and after and see if we picked anything up, but it is a lot richer on the high end. And well, adding another port's going to make one just flow a lot better, but it does feel a lot snappier, more responsive. You know, who knows if I had that time in advance all the way before, I don't know, but I guess I'll pause you guys and I'll bring you back once we get out here at the logs. And guys, this log's sound, the center of it's hollow. It is what it is. She's pulling damn good. Gonna have to once again today go in after doing this and shower. That thing threw saw chips up and down my back. Yeah, fun times. But we're gonna spin you guys around this little old piece of hickory. It's probably just right around a foot. I'll do the hand measurement test here just to show you guys. If I can get everything set straight here. There's a whole hand thumb and all, another whole hand thumb and all. You know, it's about the same. It's probably a foot, maybe 11, 12 inches. I don't really want to go get a tape measure to measure it, but I probably got 4 inches here before I get into my stand. We'll see if we can knock 3 cookies off with it. This chain is stock right out of the box. It ain't been touched. I do have a brand new square ground chain that I'd plan on running on it if we do get to take it and compete with it, but we'll see how it does here. Well guys, as of right now, I'm going to leave it alone until I get some different wood to test it in. If I feel like it, maybe that'll be this weekend, maybe not. They look like they're giving a little bit of rain, but I'd really like to go cut a poplar and bring it in and use it for my test wood. I can tell a little more about how fast the saw is, but she's tearing through that hickory pretty damn fast. When the big pine logs just not slowing it down at all. I can pull on it. Like, honestly, the first cut I made off camera with it, I was pulling on it and trying to stall the saw out and couldn't do it. Maybe in a big old piece of oak or a big huge piece of hickory or locust or maple or something, but in that wood, it's just, you're just not going to slow the damn thing down any. That's where that compression and that torque comes in at. And if you're cutting cookies, that's, you know, going to allow you to push and force the saw through as well. And on that hickory, I'm leaning on it about as hard as I can. My cookie cutting skills are off a little bit today, but it is what it is. I ain't no cookie cutting professional anyway. It's probably what'll disqualify me right out of the gate anyway. We got a little while to practice, I guess, but anyway, like I said, you know, if there's something simple one of you guys think I could try, right now I'm down to tweak, get any more out of it. I'm probably gonna, I think, have to pull the cylinder back off of it. Could probably choke the blowdown up just a little bit more. You know, it's 22 degrees. These things are pretty damn sensitive in the uppers. It seems like anything lower than, say, 18 degrees of blowdown, and I don't know, they just you just can't seem to get on the rev up top. That makes any sense. Intake timing, I found they don't like anything no more than about 80. They go to wanting to load up, sitting at idle, and kind of, I ain't gonna say throttle response is boggy, but this one has good crisp throttle response. So, you know, I don't know. The exhaust port could be widened out some more. We could throw some bridges in it, could throw a couple fingers in it. But, you know, right now it's about all the saw I can handle trying to cut cookies with. So, you know, is there any point in making it any faster? I'm thinking I should just leave it as is and just start practicing with it, so I don't get up there and get disqualified for, you know, missing a cut or something. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching, and everybody have a good rest of your week.